Welcome back, mother lovers, to a brand new episode of Last Call at McLaren'S, the best damn How I Met Your Mother and Father podcast on the internet. I am your host, Josh. How you doing, John?
I'm doing good. I like that you added father into there now.
Yeah, you know,
the best damn
mother and father, because you know that's what we're here. We are here for the father today, John.
It is definitely a family sitcom.
It's a family.
Dare I take a stab and say we're the best damn Yellow Umbrella podcast there is yet?
Maybe. But yes, folks, we are here for How I Met Your Father, Season 1, Episode 9, the penultimate episode to this first season.
Oh, and what a fucking penultimate episode that it was.
Right? It was wild.
Did I say that right?
Penultimate, yes.
Penultimate, okay.
And this one is titled J Street, named after the very song that Meredith has written that we learned about in the last episode. I like that. It seems like these last 3 episodes are like just one big episode.
It did seem like
you know what I mean? Because it's all like to be continued. It's like it's following a big arc in the back part of this episode, and I like. Yeah, I think that's actually
only been a like matter of days.
Yeah,
like the breakup was literally like the day before.
Yeah. So I like that. I'm really excited to. I like that story structure. So it's cool. Yeah, a lot.
Oh, you do. You are very different from like when you watch a show. You like structure, and I'm like, how much craziness can they fit into an episode at one time and make it make sense?
That's true. And when they can do all of that together, yeah.
Hells yeah. Then I got about a half pack of roids in my pocket.
Damn right. All right. So this episode aired March 8th of 2022, directed by Pamela Fryman. And I think we can see that in the structure of this episode. We were talking before we started that this episode felt probably one of the most like an actual How I Met Your Mother episode, just because of the way they're bouncing back and forth, like real fast between storylines. And that's something that we saw a lot under Pamela Fryman's directorial.
Not only did we see it a lot, this one just overall radiated. Like it definitely wasn't a copy and paste, but there was definitely moments where I was like, I felt like I was watching How I Met Your Mother again.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean the whole episode screamed that episode with Barney and Robin where they're both supposed to break up with their respective couple. You know what I mean?
You went to a different place. You saw that one, and you know how Charlie's trying to get the gang to watch soccer?
Yeah.
I thought the episode where Robin was trying to get the gang to watch her on the news, and like Marshall and Barney have like the
night shirts,
pajamas. Yeah.
So
see, we both went to totally different episodes, but it's relatable.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. This one had so much of that, like How I Met Your Mother love just needed into it.
Yeah.
It was a 22-minute episode, and I blinked and it was over. I almost watched it again.
Yeah. It's I'm glad I've watched it multiple times. So this episode is written by Amma Kwao, who is a staff writer on the show, and Allie Tybalt, who apparently worked as an assistant to Isaac Aptaker and Elizabeth Berger, who created this show. And she worked with them as an assistant on their show Love Victor. So, you know, bringing in people they know. I'm like, okay. I didn't see any writing credits in her IMDb at all, so it seems like this might be her first crack at it. But, you know, she was teamed up with one of the staff writers, and I think they did a damn good job here.
I mean, they did a great job.
Yeah,
it's undeniable.
Like we said, a lot of complicated stuff happening. You know, the story weaves through a lot. It's not just like, okay, here's this story, here's this story, here's this story. These stories are weaving in and out of one another.
Oh, yeah. They weave in and out of each other. There's moments where, like, this part of the story is being told, and then it, like, meets here, and then that continues here, but then it goes back to here. It's like, Jesus, fuck people.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, but they did a great job. So the summary for this one: a parental wrench is thrown into Sophie's plan for the day. That's an understatement. Jesse deals with the aftermath of a truth bomb, and Charlie tries to get the gang excited about soccer. It definitely, not diving into a lot of what's happening in this episode.
No, but at the same time, though, it gives you just enough to be like, okay, that's what's happening. Okay.
Yeah, they're not spoiling any of the big moments. All right. Speaking of big moments, John, the episode starts off with something we've been hoping for the entire season.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Actual How I Met Your Mother characters coming in to the episode with the captain and boats, Miss Becky herself.
It was Becky. Although she has really definitely grown up since her time on How I Met Your Mother, because I didn't recognize her at first.
Oh, wow. Okay. No,
I was like,
did.
Who the fuck is this crazy woman screaming at the captain like that? And then I realized who it was, and I was like, oh my God, it's Becky.
Yeah. Because her and the captain's still together.
I mean, that's awesome, though.
Yeah, but
he's
cheating in their bed, and we don't know what this is how this ties in. Future Sophie says that it will be important.
Yeah, it's important to a story at some point. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck story?
We have we don't get any answers in this episode. I don't know if we'll get some sort of answer in the finale. But they just sunk in a hook into me, and I'm just like, okay, I need to know. I got to know, to quote Barney Simpson.
We've been guessing since day one what characters were going to be on here and like how they were going to relate them into the story. The captain was not on my list of people.
Not even close.
So like, I'm going to quote Marshall here. Not even on the bracket. That is a Cinderella story.
Yes. Oh, man, a total Cinderella story. And that's how the episode starts.
It does. People, we have the captain and we have boats. Becky, take it away, Josh.
Yeah, I mean, that got me hyped. And so then we dive right into this episode. And the beginning of the episode is kind of bouncing between like Sophie and Vale at their apartment and Jess and Sid at their apartment, kind of telling their sides of the same story.
Yes.
Sophie has finally gotten her tooth fixed, which the dentists in this show, like, I've never broke a tooth, but like I've had lots of dental work and I've never been just like totally good right after a dental procedure. I'm just like, she's over here eating Twizzlers on that thing. And it's like, hey man, okay. Maybe I'm missing something, but I've never experienced work that has sealed up that well right away.
Fair enough.
Just saying. She dropped off her photo to Naomi officially. And as she's talking to Vale figures out that her and Jesse kissed. She's just like, she can tell.
She can tell.
She has like this damn power to just
Where's
tell.
the poop, Robin?
Where's the poop? That's right, man. That's totally right. And Sophie feels bad because she's technically still with Drew. They didn't technically break up. They were in a fight from the night before.
I called that. I said that they weren't broken up.
Yeah, and I mean, we all knew it was leading there because it wasn't like Jesse kissed her and she was like, oh no, they kissed each other.
Dude, it was mutual.
Oh yeah, it was 100% mutual. And Vale even asks that, does Jesse feel the same way? And she says yes. And apparently Sophie has this like habit of kissing people with her eyes open.
Yeah, she's like checking out the kiss. Like, that's weird.
Yeah, if I was kissing a girl and I happened to like open my eyes real quick and saw that she was like staring back at me, I don't know, man. I think that would probably be the end of that kiss. Just saying.
Dude, that would probably be the end of a lot of things.
Yeah, it's true. But what are your thoughts on Valentina then responding with that she is essentially made out with an American Girl doll?
Listen, first off, we've all made out with an inanimate object. Let's just move on.
Oh, I just thought that was hilarious.
Tell me you've never practiced kissing on something that wasn't alive.
I mean,
unless you were one of those weirdos making out with dogs or cats.
I am going to plead the fifth on the whole thing.
Oh man. Taught myself cunnilingus on a lemon. I will go as far to say that.
Well, folks, you heard it here first. Breaking news. Cunnilingus on a lemon. Yeah, don't try that at home. So we also get Jesse and Sid's side of the story. Jesse is telling Sid about it, and he's super excited. Sid is super excited. He apparently has been shipping them since the beginning. A lot of stuff going on here. Sophie has said that she has decided to break up with Drew. Her and Jesse have made dinner plans, which ties back into the episode later on toward the end. We also find out that Charlie has made these plans for the gang to watch soccer with him, and he's calling it Friends Soccer Day. He made shirts and everything.
And he's even calling it soccer, though, and not foosball or football.
Yeah, nice. He's using the American term of soccer, as he says in his best American accent there.
When he says it, too, it always kind of reminds me of, oh, God, I'm going to not remember this guy's name. Do you remember the guy who played Jean-Luc on Step by Step? Bronson.
Bronson Pinchot.
That guy. So when I first got introduced to him as an actor, it was on Step by Step, and it was him playing Jean-Luc.
Okay.
I didn't know he was an American actor. So, he's doing his thing. Every once in a while, he would do that thing where he'd be like, oh, howdy, how you doing? And he'd start. And I was like, wow, that's a really great American accent. So when Charlie does it, I was like, oh, wow, that's a great American accent. And then I realized he's fucking American.
Is he?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah, I have no idea. I've never, I don't think I've seen him.
I'm pretty sure he's American. I mean, he could be.
I'd have to check that out. I'd have to check that out. I honestly don't know. But it was definitely funny for me. Bronson Pinchot, I think the first thing I ever saw him on was Perfect Strangers. You ever see that show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a long, long time ago.
He played Belky.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that was the first thing I ever saw him on before Step by Step. Because one Step by Step hit, I was like, yo, that's the dude from Perfect Strangers.
Well, I remember the first time it's like when you watch Medea for the first time and you see Tyler Perry as Medea do the guy voice, not Medea. It's it screws with you the first time, and then it just kind of grows on you, and it's hilarious.
I mean, I've only seen one Medea movie. Wasn't a big fan, but that's just me.
I think it's funny.
Not my kind of jam.
He'll literally be like, "Oh my god," and then I'll be like, "Don't fuck with me, boy," and like.
And maybe it's because I watched one that, from what I've heard, isn't one of the best, and it was the second Halloween one.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
Boo 2 or whatever.
Watch one. I mean, like for people like us anyway, because they're very religious movies as well as being like, primarily directed towards a specific
demographic.
Thank you. They're very, very heavy on like family and religion, and they really push the Jesus factor on it. Yeah. But then like Tyler Perry like layers in his comedy and stuff, and it really balances out to where like the Jesus stuff is like it's there, but you don't really think about it as much.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna watch I think it's Medea's Big Happy Family. It's probably one of the better ones that I've seen.
Okay. Maybe I'll give it a try.
Or Witness Protection, because that one has Eugene Levy.
I mean, I do love Eugene Levy, man.
You do. And him and Tyler Perry working together is fucking hilarious.
I mean, he is great in Schitt's Creek. So I highly recommend that show if you haven't watched it. So give that
back to How I Met Your Father, though.
Back to How I Met Your Father. Jesse makes Sid promise that he won't tell anybody about the kiss, and they do this thumb promise thing, which I thought was hilarious.
Because thumbs are stronger than pinkies.
That's right, sir. I was like,
that is the greatest fucking thing ever.
I was like, we should totally start doing that.
Dude, I thought the same. Fine, we're on. Thumb promises from now on. No more of this pinky shit.
That's right, because thumbs are stronger than pinkies. And then Jesse's all happy about the kiss and everything. You know, he's flying high.
Dude, he's on cloud nine.
And Sid has to do what he has to do, and he has to tell him about Meredith.
He rips the Band-Aid off.
He does. He rips the Band-Aid off. And then right away, Jesse listens to the song, and it's about how she regrets ending things, which I was not expecting that. I wasn't sure what I was expecting, to be totally honest, from her song. Wasn't sure where this was going to go. But yeah, she regrets. And we'll dive into a lot of that because we get a lot of stuff with her in this episode.
So I have a question for you.
Okay.
So when TV shows do moments like this, where like in show a character writes a song, okay, they debut the song, and usually you don't get a whole song. Usually, like with like Robin Sparkles, like that's a rare occasion. Yeah. Usually, you get what we got for J Street. It's a segment of it.
Yeah.
So here's my question to you: what is a better song? J Street or Loser Boy?
Oh man, because Loser Boy is good.
Loser Boy is a classic.
Oh man, I think I would listen to Loser Boy before I would listen to J Street, but I think that J Street might be, like, technically speaking, the better song.
That's fair.
You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's also got she's got a record label.
It's true.
Of some sort. I mean, obviously she's getting produced somewhere.
Yeah. She said, she said she got a deal with a major record label. So
yeah, Loser Boy was just kind of like rough put together and then put on the radio.
Loser Boy. Oh man, that's good stuff.
I had thought about that from when I was watching the show, because I was like, you know, like we get a full version of Let's Go to the Mall, Sandcastles in the Sand, P.S. I Love You.
Yeah.
And you get a decent semi-length version of the Beaver song.
Oh, yeah.
When that comes around. But I'm like, it's not very often that a show releases a full version of music. Usually, like I said, you get what you get with J Street, and it's like a 35, 40 second clip. And you're supposed to believe that is the whole song that they're playing on the radio.
Now, I wouldn't be shocked if there is a full version of it.
There might be.
I would not be shocked of that. I wouldn't mind hearing it just to kind of hear all the lyrics and and see.
Fair enough.
What I could kind of glean out of it for the show, but
I think it's funny that everybody's like, J Street. What? This isn't about Jesse. Oh, J Street. I'm like, that's like the running gag for the song. And I'm like,
yeah. Do
you not get it that his name is Jesse and it starts with a J?
Yeah, I literally, at listening to it, I'm like, this is about Jesse. Yeah. I mean, we knew it was about Jesse.
Yeah.
But I'm like, J Street is obviously Jesse.
Obviously. There's no question about it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, he starts to kind of spiral a bit, and he goes over to where Meredith is staying, and at the same time, we see Sophie showing up at Drew's place. Then a little bit of stuff at the bar. Charlie's still trying to get everybody to pay attention to the game, not working. And then Vale finally comes in, and her and Sid spill the beans. About the kiss, and a whole lot of stuff kind of goes on from there. So for the rest of this episode, I have kind of broken it down into 5 different sections.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, because there's a lot of stuff going on. We've got the Sophie and Drew stuff. We've got the Jesse and Meredith stuff. We've got Charlie and Vale, Sid and Hannah, and then the little bit of just Ellen.
Yeah, poor Ellen.
Ellen's storyline in this very, very, very small. So
we should just cover that real quick.
Out. Yeah, we'll knock that out real quick. So she comes in. She has this bag of clothes. She wants to do like a quote unquote like fashion show because she has an interview with
with
Did
Goliath.
I was gonna say, did you catch this? Goliath Market. Goliath Market corporate office, which means that Goliath has branched out from just doing banks and is now doing other stuff.
Hell yeah, they are.
Yeah, so I was like, oh shit, they pulled Goliath into this.
I mean, it was only a matter of time.
Yeah, I thought that was a great little reference there because it was just throwaway. They didn't, you know what I mean? If you missed it, then you missed it. But we caught it, and I was like, I had to rewind it to make sure I heard it right. I was like, did I hear that right? And sure as shit, man, Goliath Market, which Goliath I hope we start seeing some Goliath stuff.
Hell yeah.
I just want to see like a Goliath, like a GNB ATM just there as they're walking by or whatever, or like they're getting some money out of it, maybe, you know, but they don't make a big deal of it. It's just there. That's what I want. Stuff like that.
I mean, they could change it from GNB to GNM, Goliath National Market.
Maybe.
I mean,
I feel like there's gonna be like the bank. There's gonna be this market. There's probably gonna be other things that they kind of branched out into. And yeah, I just want to see that Goliath name pop up here and there.
Hell yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like I'm like, man, it better just start kind of
have them be like on the subway, and there's just like an ad for Goliath something on the subway.
Hell yeah,
you know, just stuff like that. You know, where it's just kind of in the background, and if you catch it, then hey.
I want to see if we're going to do a subway scene. I had thought about this. If they do a subway scene, I want to see a scene where somebody walks by like one of those old where the posters used to hang, and I want it ripped where like you can't really make much of it, but you can clearly see the bottom and it just says Metro News 1.
Oh, that would be cool.
Like you don't have to have Robin and
you could have like it could have been like a picture of her, but like all you see is like part of her arm.
You
know what I mean?
It says Metro News 1 at the bottom.
That would be pretty dope,
right?
Actually. I would love like those are the little things that like because they don't have to make a big deal of them. It's just for people like us who are like diehard fans looking for shit. And I want more of that, to be honest, because it makes it feel really. That's the stuff that makes it feel like it's in the same world.
Yes,
you know that like sure you can have the captain. Cool, I'll take that. but it's those
my captain.
But it's those small things like mentioning Goliath or like seeing certain things that would make it feel a lot more like that. So while she's doing, you know, she's kind of going through these clothes, she pulls out this one outfit. It's a black and white striped outfit, and we actually get a line of dialogue from Jasper. First one in like funny. 4 episodes, maybe, since he's talked. And he says that it looks like the Beetlejuice suit.
Which it did look like Beetlejuice suit.
Totally. 100%.
Although, I'm not going to lie, I'm surprised they went with a Beetlejuice reference and not a Robin Thicke reference, being that today's generation might have known that better.
Yeah. And you know, his father, Alan Thicke, was part of How I Met Your Mother.
That, too.
You know, so it could have worked too. But Ellen has terrible fashion sense. Like,
dude, she grew up on a vegetable farm. What do you expect?
I get it. But these outfits are so bad.
I mean,
are so bad. And that's why she winds up getting help from Val at the end.
Dude, I thought Val was really cool about it too, because Val's like, you know, unbutton the vest, put on this coat, and turn the tie into a belt. And then I love how Val walks out the door and she's like, wait, was it turn the tie into a belt or the belt into a tie? Who turns their belt into a tie?
People trying to kill themselves, maybe?
Ooh.
I mean,
think
about it. Too soon? Maybe she probably fucking killed herself. I don't know. Do we have any of those in this episode? The girl who the captain was sleeping with.
And no, because I guarantee you we'll see her again because that story is integral to something else.
Yeah, well, we might see her again.
Maybe. I'll say it when we get there, bro.
That's true. If she doesn't show up again, like whenever they bring back the captain thing, I expect to hear that.
I want to hear Becky say boats one more time.
Boats. Permission denied. She blows the fucking whistle.
Oh man.
But yeah, so that's it for the Ellens.
Yeah, I was gonna say Ellen was really just like, oh, she did get a little bit of a say-all when like they were talking about the whole Jesse and
yeah, that's true.
Sophie, but like
she was involved a little bit there as they were talking about the kiss, but really not much. Not a heavy Ellen episode in this one.
So let's talk about Sid and Hannah.
All right, yeah,
because this is a fun little thing, and again, not a huge chunk, but
yeah,
yeah,
and I'll be honest, it has me looking at Sid in different ways, which I'll talk about as we get there. So Sid and Hannah is in town.
Hannah's in town.
For
they're
48
working on
hours.
the wedding.
Yeah, and they are doing wedding planning stuff. Hannah is super stressed out. And this was the first thing that kind of came to me. Sid needs to really step up here because he is putting all of this wedding planning essentially on her.
Yeah.
And it's like, and that's BS. First off, it was bad enough when it was just one wedding, but now he is making it need to be two because
he wants to do the Indian one.
Yeah, he needs to do this Indian one, which is fine. But then maybe he should be the one planning that one.
Well, what
taking
really
the majority of that one
is there's the line. She's talking about how like she needs to have like 2 of this and 2 of that and 2 rooms to hide and crying if she gets overwhelmed. And fucking Sid does nothing to comfort her really that things are gonna be okay.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow.
He's real selfish here with this situation.
He has been the last couple of episodes though.
Yeah.
And I'm really hoping this isn't the begin to a story arc where they're gonna split.
Yeah. I mean, we see stuff toward the end where it's like, that could happen. And that's the crazy thing. Like, all of the quote unquote couples that we see, it's kind of up in the air.
Oh, yeah. Shit's choppy at the end of this episode.
Which we'll get to, obviously. But yeah. And there's a point where Sid, Val, and Ellen, you were talking about the whole, Ellen being involved, where they're all talking about Sophie and Jesse. As Charlie's kind of trying to watch the game and stuff. But Hannah is still sitting there, still wedding planning. Sid is doing nothing. He's just chatting with everybody else while she is working hard and she's getting annoyed by stuff.
Yeah. And then she interjects the whole, well, Drew's our friend, and I can't believe that you would
Sophie cheated on him.
Sophie cheated on him. And he's like, fucking dumbass says, well, it was the good cheating. So like there's a fucking good cheating.
Did anything in particular pop into your head when that happened? Because something popped into my head when he said that.
But now you've got me thinking
as soon as he said that, I was like, oh, honey. That's because that's the exact kind of moment that this is.
Yeah,
it's an oh honey moment. It's like, why did you say that?
See, he said that, and the first thing that came to my mind is I instantly went, when can you justify cheating?
Yeah.
And like I get it, like that there's a breakup coming, whatever.
Yeah. It's like I get his thought process. When it leads to something good, when you meet your person, but
the
act of cheating is still there's never a good
and that's it.
Cheating.
And like I've been a guy who split a couple up and become the guy.
Yeah.
Does that make me a good person? Fuck no. But I mean that's who I was at the time.
Yeah.
I mean shit happens.
Yeah.
I know
why.
I know what he meant when he said it. But it's the wording.
It's the wording, and he never seems to feel sorry at all. He never apologizes. Like later on, Hannah apologizes to him for overreacting, and I'm like, no, like I don't think she overreacted. I mean, there might have been a couple of moments where like she was really digging into him for it instead of trying to talk it over. But he wasn't doing anything to help the situation, and he should have been the one apologizing for saying what he said, in my opinion.
I mean, he absolutely should have apologized. I mean, on her side of it, though, how many times have you and I done something and then we just rag on each other until it's driven into the ground?
That's true. I mean, that's true.
Sometimes it's the only way.
She was doing it. She was doing it. I feel like a little bit more because she was mad.
That's fair. And I mean, that's again though. If she has every right to be mad,
like the whole thing with was it her aunt? I think it was her aunt.
Yeah.
Like, we should just put her at the table with your uncle, and like he cheated on her. Well, but in your eyes, that would be the good kind of cheating because he's still with his paralegal. Yeah. Also, paralegal. Just saying. Was her name Mary? I don't know.
Mary the paralegal? You're a prostitute. I'm a paralegal.
I'm a paralegal. Yeah. Hopefully, it was actually a paralegal in her uncle's case. Just saying. But yeah, I feel like there's a lot of problems kind of coming their way because we find out that Hannah has gotten this opportunity for a year-long fellowship after her program ends, and she may wind up staying in Los Angeles for that year and doing this thing. And so, like, we don't know. It's kind of open-ended as to where this is going to go. Sid makes this joke about sitting on his hand, which I thought was pretty damn funny.
Everybody thinks it's going to go to, like, a Stranger reference.
It's The Stranger.
And everybody instead, he's surprised. Like, he's like, no. I hold my hand because I miss you so much.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's a really sweet gesture. Like,
yeah,
I get it. But I'm like, I also get that, like, he's a business owner and she's doing, like, this medical rotation shit. I'm like, man, you guys need to find a better in the middle meeting grounds for your shit because, like, this is unhealthy. And this is where I really see, like, that rift starting. And I'm like, I don't want to see them split up.
Yeah, me either. And like, I don't really like, I like Hannah. I kind of want her to be around a bit more, and like having her gone for a full another, essentially would be a season because it's going to be another year. Like I have a hard time believing that they're going to make it through, but I guess we'll see,
we'll see, man. Love can conquer all.
Love finds a way, just like life finds a way. Love also finds a way. All right, so I think next we should talk about the Charlie and Vale stuff. Save the Sophie and the Jesse kind of things.
Fair enough.
All right, so we talked a little bit about how Charlie was setting up this day for them to all watch soccer together, and he's getting real upset because no one's paying attention to the game. As we don't really know why he's upset because he made this plan. But then we find out that there's a lot more to this story.
Dude's homesick.
He is really, really homesick. And these games are the only thing that he has left that connect him to home.
Do we know? Because I was wondering this after the episode. He never says who's actually playing soccer.
He calls them the Blue. I don't know if that's if that means anything. I don't watch soccer.
Neither do I.
I'm going to Google it real quick, see if...
wonder if it's Manchester United.
It's possible. Let's see. Who is the Blue, people? Let's see. Blue. I don't know.
I would add soccer to that search.
I did.
Oh, okay. I was like, otherwise you're going to get a lot of things for like the Blue Man Group.
I mean, that is probably true, but... yeah, I don't know. There's multiple teams that wear blue, so I actually don't know. Maybe it was meant to be kind of vague.
Well, you know what I mean? Be. Well, because when I think of soccer, the only team I actually know in soccer is Manchester United. It's like one of the biggest soccer teams. They're in Euro Trip. I mean, and that's where my mind went. Was I could just picture Charlie in Britain, and he's like.
He's on the bus.
To watch Manchester United, and he's like, "Yeah, football." And then I can picture like the two fucking Americans. He's like, "My baby takes the morning."
He's just hanging out with Vinnie Jones.
He's just hanging out with fucking Spinks.
Yeah, man, I love
it. The fucking juggernaut.
He's the juggernaut, bitch. But yeah, so he's real homesick, and
so homesick.
Vale, like he tells this all to Vale finally, and she decides she's gonna try to make it right. She takes Ellen's keys after she helped her to pick out her outfit.
Yeah, but then how does Ellen get to her interview?
I'm assuming it's just her house keys.
Oh, maybe.
That's what I assumed, because she goes to Charlie's apartment.
That's true. But she did say she was taking the car, though.
Did she say car? I don't know. I'm
pretty sure she said she took the car.
I mean, they're in New York City. There's public transport everywhere. You know?
Sorry, I'm taking your car, Ellen. Have fun taking the bus.
You want to know what I thought was interesting? Like, when she goes out the door, it looked like it was nighttime.
It did.
So, like, she has an interview, because wasn't it that day?
I was pretty sure.
I thought it was the same day. Maybe I missed something, and it's like, maybe it's tomorrow. And she's just picking out the outfit now. But it seemed like it was nighttime, so just seemed a little odd. But so Charlie shows back up at home, and Vale has decked out the apartment with a whole bunch of British stuff, including a British phone booth, which I thought was funny.
I thought that was funny as well.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of How I Met Your Mother reference up in there. I think it was just like a cardboard cutout of one, though, right?
I'm pretty sure,
wasn't it? I will say
this though. As soon as she walked out dressed up, I could tell she was supposed to be all 5 Spice Girls dressed in, at least the majority. Yeah. I was like, you had the boots of Baby, the pants of Sporty. I'm like, man, I was like, she's
the top of Scary, the makeup of Posh.
Yep. In the voice of Ginger.
In the voice of Ginger. Oh, that was too funny. Oh, man. It's like, it's so sweet. This whole moment is so sweet. She's doing the Love Actually thing with the signs.
Yeah.
It was great.
Love Actually is a British movie.
Yeah.
So my thing works.
It's funny, though, because that got spoiled for me. Because, like, the official How I Met Your Father Twitter page posted the images of that shot, of that scene, of, like, the 3 images of her with the poster board.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I already knew that was coming.
Dude.
I was like, why would you post that? Like, come on. That should have been a big surprise.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they blew that out of the way. I was like, thanks, guys, I guess. Okay. And like I said, she does all this for him. They hug. But as this scene ends, see Charlie. Yeah, Charlie's face. He's not happy still.
He's not happy.
And like I wrote in my notes, bad things are coming. They're
definitely going to break up.
We have bad things possibly coming for Sid and Hannah. With the way that it ended there, possible bad things coming here. We don't know. And as we will see, possible bad things for Jesse and Sophie.
Speculation.
Yes. The more you know. But yeah, so that's the Charlie and Vale stuff. A lot of stuff up in the air. Okay, so do you want to do Jesse or Sophie first for these
Let's
last
do
2?
Jesse first.
Okay, so Jesse. Last time we talked about him, he was at Meredith's door.
Yep.
Then we moved on to other things.
And he knocks.
Opens the door. He asks her about, he's like, what the? And that's where it had cut in the previous.
Yeah.
And so now he's there. He's there with Meredith, kind of confronting her about, the song, asking her, like, what is this? Is this about? Do you regret breaking up and everything? And she kind of plays it off a bit and does that whole charm thing that we learned about in the previous episode. It kind of charms him into sitting down with her and playing this hot sauce game that they used to play when they were together. I think I wrote it down. Hot sauce surprise.
It's a fucking Scrubs moment because you said that. I'm like, wow, that sounds dirty.
Very true.
Oh man.
But yeah, she uses that ability of hers to charm people.
The thing is, she's a fucking succubus, dude.
Yeah. No,
she literally just wants herself to be happy, and she doesn't care about who the fuck she's hurting in the process.
Dude, she spells it out for us. Okay? She finally tells Jesse why they split up, like why she said no to the proposal.
Yep.
And it's because she felt like she didn't have a voice in the band. Like she was the lead singer, but all the songs were essentially written by Jesse. And so she felt like she didn't have a voice. She wanted to find her own voice, which I get. Okay, sure. But now she wants him to come back and be her piano player, essentially doing the same fucking thing to him that she was complaining about.
Yeah.
Taking away his voice for her music.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he better fucking not do this.
Well, it's weird because it's like, okay, so you felt like you were voiceless in the band, so now you want him to come back and play piano and have no voice.
Yeah.
And it kind of reminded me of the dude the guy who ends up oh my god, Tracy's band. The guy who gets punched in the face by Ted.
Yeah.
It reminds me of him.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, let me take over the band. It's essentially what she's trying to do is like, oh, I wasn't good enough in your band, so come be in my band and be a backup person. Fuck you, bitch. Hit the road.
And like you said, she only cares about herself.
Yeah.
You know?
She doesn't fucking care about what Jesse... Because even Jesse says, I had plans. And she's like, oh, stay here. Taste these hot sauces and try to guess which one's which. Yeah. Fuck you!
Yeah, because it's like... She's totally cool with him losing his voice because she doesn't want to be alone. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like she misses the little things. I think really what it is, she misses the way he would probably throw himself over anything for her.
Guaranteed.
You know what I mean?
Guaranteed.
And now she's on her own with no one to do that for her. And since she is now the top dog in the music, she's like, okay, I'll take you back.
I'll take you back. I got monies. I can have my way and have you in the background.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, fuck you.
But like, he allows this, though, and this is where I hate Jesse during this episode. He allows this to cloud his judgment, and he ends up missing his date with Sophie.
Yeah.
Like, you fucking dumbass.
As far as we know.
That's true.
He could show up late, like even later than she. But yeah, we'll get to that. It's you can see that they're connecting again, and I don't like it.
Neither do I,
because you know that he's not going to be happy. You know what I mean? He's finally writing his own music again after all the shit.
Yep.
And if he does this, that ends. There won't. He won't. She won't. There's no fucking way she will take his music for anything because she doesn't want to be in that situation again. She wants the control.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
100% agree with that.
So who knows what the fuck is going to happen there? A lot of shit up in the air. And then we get to Sophie and Drew.
So I love that because we passed over. Well, no, we didn't pass over part of Sophie's. It hasn't happened yet.
Yeah. The last time we talked about Sophie really was she was knocking on the door.
Yes.
At Drew's place. And then everything kind of cut and we went to other places from there.
Has she gotten the phone call though before she got the phone call before she gets to Drew's, right?
No, from Vale?
No, from her boss. Because we passed over that.
No, that's at the very end when she's in the restaurant.
You're right.
That's at the very end. Yeah. We'll get to that, but yeah. So she's at Drew's place, and he, he opens the door. He apologizes for everything. He's like, I was just pissed, because you were late. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, that's not good enough, man.
Nah,
like the way you treated her. No,
dude, that's the kind of guy who beats a woman and then's like, baby, I'll change.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Drew would ever beat her. But yes, I get what you're saying.
I'm just saying, it's the same energy. It's a red flag, bro.
It's a total red flag.
You fucking pack your toiletries up, and if you didn't have toiletries, you steal his toilet paper and you leave.
That's true. Toilet paper is a hot commodity. But then we find out his parents are there.
Yeah.
Dude, they are a lot.
Like, there's so much that plays out during this, like, a little bit of an interaction here. Yeah. Like, his parents come out, and they're all, oh my God, it's Sophie. Blah, 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 blah.
so much prettier than in her Instagram. Like no,
first off, you people are overselling this too hard. Yeah. Okay, and then his mom's like, "Why don't you and your schmuck of a father go get bagels?" Ah! And I'm like, "What the fuck is going on here?" Like
she's real annoying. I did not like her whatsoever. And it gets worse.
Yeah,
real quick.
Because you instantly find out like she's trying to like buddy up to Sophie, and she's like, I mean, she's really pushing it on there too. Like,
oh yeah, I literally put she's really pushy.
Yeah, I mean, she's like, let's take a selfie and post it on Instagram. Two peas in a pod. Let's do this. Let's do that.
I do love that Sophie like shuts that shit down.
Yes,
real quick. Because then she's like, we have this timeshare in Aruba. You should check. You should come and see it sometime. You know what? I'll book you a ticket. Yeah. And Sophie's like, listen, I am not going to Aruba with you.
I love how when Sophie finally had enough of it, she's like, look, we're not doing any of this because I'm here to break up with your kid.
Yeah.
And I was like, boom.
Oh, so side note, did you catch the parents' names?
No.
It's so the dad is Lou, the mom is Sue, and the kid is Drew. I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me?
So it's the Pickles.
Yeah, it's Lou, Drew, and Sue.
Because Lou was the dad, Stu and Drew were the brothers.
Oh yeah, Stu and Drew. Yeah, that's right. But
why are you going? Oh, were you? I thought maybe you were going somewhere else with this.
No. I was saying that it's kind of ridiculous.
Oh, it is.
I hadn't thought about the Rugrats type of thing going on here.
Yeah, no, I'm going back to the Rugrats with it because it's Grandpa Lou, and then Tommy's dad is Stu Pickles.
Stu, yeah.
And then Angelica's dad was Drew Pickles.
I totally had forgotten about that. And so I have to wonder, was that an inspiration at all?
See, you caught the Superman reference in How I Met Your Mother, and then you point this out, and I'll link it to Rugrats.
I like it, man. I like that a lot. but yeah, Lou, Sue, and Drew. It's almost like we're in a Dr. Seuss book. I don't know, and it's like a really bad Dr. Seuss book. Because I don't like her. But yeah, like you said, Sophie, she's like, nah. We ain't doing this.
She shuts it down so hard.
I'm breaking up with your son. But Sue's not having any of that, man.
No. She's like, because we're breaking up with my kid first.
I mean, I kind of.
Or no, they were splitting.
No, it's that they have bad news. That's what she said.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because we find out that Drew's dad has committed some sort of financial fraud. And maybe going to jail.
Goliath National Bank.
Now, I think it would be hilarious if we found out he was working for Goliath National
Dude, that would be hilarious.
That would be one of the best things in the world.
I will say this, though. Once that gets, like, brought out, and, like, cause she's like, oh, we'll have some toast. And she's like, speaking of toast, your dad, you remember this guy? Yeah, your dad, he did similar thing.
Because earlier... Sue made her rock, paper, scissors for who would be the one to break their bad news first. And Sophie won, even though Sue's trying to be like, your paper looks kind of like scissors.
Yeah, first off, what paper looks like? She would have had to have been like Spock in it over here.
So when Drew finally shows back up, Sophie's like, I need to let's go toast them in the kitchen because she wants to talk to him first. And that's why she just blurts that shit out. She's like, speaking of toast, your dad might go to jail. Huzzah. Now pass the cream cheese.
Oh, man. Which ropes Sophie back in for just a little bit longer.
Yeah, because then she like uses her son's feelings about all this to try and manipulate Sophie.
Yeah, because she's like, "Oh, you're having such a hard time with this. At least you have your girl by your side." And he's like, "Yeah, at least I got that."
And I was like, "Oh, that bitch! That was such a bitch move, man."
It was such a strong play, though.
It was,
like,
man.
If you're gonna make a power play, that's the fucking play to do. Like,
oh yeah,
you put somebody behind the 8 ball, but Sophie not being one to back down. found her way out and made a slam dunk in the end.
Yeah, man. I love how strong Sophie is in this episode.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. So after that stuff, she's in the bathroom for a bit, and we get the call from Vale. Vale learns that Jesse is with Meredith, and she calls Sophie, and Sophie has to decide what she's going to do. You know, because I think that before that, I think she was thinking about, possibly sticking it out. Like she was practicing, saying, we're breaking up, but I think she was still very hesitant up until that point, and I think the call locked it in for her.
Lock it, yeah.
Yeah. So she comes out, she breaks up with Drew, funny enough, kind of right in front of her parents. They're literally just a few feet away at the table, which I thought was hilarious. But yeah, she breaks up with him, says essentially saying, you deserve a woman who knows 100% that he's the guy for her, and she's not that woman.
I will say this: that is probably one of the most professional and respectable breakups I've ever seen.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, it's not a cop out. That is a legit.
Yeah,
I'm really sorry that we're breaking up. I feel like you should be with somebody who wants 100% of you, and I'm not that person.
Yeah,
like that is a legit
Yeah.
Hate as much of it as you want, but I mean, like, there is no good way to break up with somebody.
There's not. And I think that they have the writing that was done for Sophie in this episode, I think, was perfection.
100%.
It was so well done. I love everything that they've done with it so far. And so after all of that, Sophie heads over to the restaurant for her date with Jesse. This is where she gets the call from Naomi to tell her that she essentially says that her photo is perfect. It's the great, it was the perfect shot. Yeah,
it was the first time we'd seen the photo too.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
It is.
Like, it's got a really great feel to it. A very earthy,
the composition's good. You got Jesse kind of like off center with the steam in the back. I really liked it quite a bit. And she's going to put it in the gallery exhibition.
And they take 40%.
They do. They take 40% commission. And so she goes up to the maitre d' or whatever and learns that Jesse's not there.
Jesse's not there yet.
She specifically says she's running late, and he's probably already here, and he's not. And so she sits down. You can tell she's worried. Like she checks. She looks at her phone. There's nothing there. Like he's late without texting, but she was late, and I don't think she texted. I mean, she might have, but I doubt she did. So, like, maybe there just needs to be some communication on both ends, guys.
Communication.
But we don't know what's going to happen here.
We don't.
It's all up in the air. And then the episode ends with future Sophie, getting up to take a break.
Yep. And the son wants her to finish. He's like, Mom. She's like, go to the bathroom or something.
Yeah.
Which I think it's great having the communication between them playing.
Yeah.
And as she walks away, I love it. Big up, blowing up on the wall. It's the photo.
Yeah, I love that. It's obviously very important to her. It's the first piece that she's had kind of become something like that. And so it's a special thing to her. And whether or not that is a photo of the father, we don't know yet.
We don't know. We'll know in the next episode.
We might know. We don't know.
I mean, that's true.
I mean, I'm curious. Will they spill the beans and then keep telling more story? Or what is it? You know what I mean? Like, obviously the son knows who the father is.
That
you know
is
what I mean?
True.
But we don't. So will we learn, but the story continue? I mean, that could be an interesting way.
It'd be fun to start seeing them use like the pronoun game around the father.
Yeah.
Because as of right now, they don't ever really talk about the dad. It's just like, I'm telling you this story. It'd be really fun as if like when the kid's talking to her, he's like, when Dad tells this story, he doesn't tell me this part, or like he hasn't told me this, or whatever, because we don't know where the dad is, or if he's alive. Like, we don't know where they're going with that whole angle yet.
I don't think we're gonna find out yet.
No, probably not.
But I also have a weird feeling that Ian might pop up in the next episode.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Like, why bother having him be a thing in the first episode?
True.
If you're not going to bring him back by the end of the season.
True.
You know?
Good point.
I have a feeling he might pop up and complicate things.
Not even on the bracket.
Not even on the bracket. Look at you, Cinderella story. But yeah, so that is How I Met Your Father's Season 1, Episode 9, J Street. John, what are your final overall thoughts on this episode?
Like I said, man, I loved this episode. It really had that How I Met Your Mother hug to it. Yeah. Like, it embraced me. It made me want to do, like, I teared up in a couple moments during this episode where, like, shit's going on. And I'm like, come on, don't tease this. Like, are we really going to break up a couple again in the middle of their fucking engagement? I really hope not. And then it's like, all this shit that's going on with, like, Charlie, like, you feel for the guy. Yeah. He's thousands of miles away from his home and all the people he knows, and he's stuck in the middle of America with no money. He's got a fucking job that's probably not paying much. Yeah. I mean, you know, he's got a smoking hot girlfriend, though.
It's true.
But, I mean, that can only fill up so much of the void.
Yeah. Yeah, they literally left all of the relationship stuff up in the air.
Yeah, man.
For everybody.
It's fucking circling the toilet bowl right now, and I'm scared.
What I'm hoping for is, ideally, I want to see next episode, by the end of it, Valentina decides she's going to go with Charlie to England for a while.
That would be cool.
You know what I mean? She sees that he's missing it. And this way, like, maybe spend the summer or quote, you know what I mean? Whatever. Because there's obviously a break between seasons.
Yeah.
They can do that, you know? They're gone for the entirety of the break. And then they come back at the beginning of the second season. That's kind of what I'm hoping for, because I don't want to see them break up. You know?
Fair.
Like,
I don't want to see them split up either. I
really like them as a couple.
I also don't want to see Sid and Hannah split though yet.
I don't either. That one I could see happening more, and could probably be more okay with, just for the fact that we don't get to spend like almost any time with Hannah.
So here's the thing though.
Unfortunate.
And just a quick thing, because I don't want to get too deep into it. Hypothetically, Sid and Hannah split. How do you feel about Sid and Ellen?
Is Ellen bisexual?
They've never explored it.
Yeah, I mean, that could be an interesting storyline to go down. I think, if anything, what we would actually see is Sid and Ellen being each other's wing person.
Oh man, that would be still really cool.
I think we would more likely
Barney
see
and
that.
James.
Yeah, I think we would more likely see that.
I could see that. That'd be okay. I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, we'd have a bit of the the Marshall, post breakup meltdown where we'd have a little bit of that with Sid, and then he'd come out of that, and then I feel like that could be where it would go, but yeah, I don't know, man. It's so much up in the air, but it was such a damn good episode.
So good.
It was so good.
Like I said, man, it really gave me the How I Met Your Mother vibes, at least a couple points.
Yeah.
And obviously you got it too, different episode, but I mean, we meet in the middle and it's there.
And I think, I'll be honest, I think a lot of that is Pamela Fryman and the way she puts the episode together.
Yes.
Because that's what made me feel like it was a How I Met Your Mother episode, just the structure of it all. And that was all her. It was all her.
All her.
Yeah. So, if you ain't got anything else here, let everybody know where they can find you.
Hop on over Twitter. Find me at Simply Sane J1. It's the Twitter that corresponds with my podcast and my blog. Feel free to check those out if you want. If you don't, no sweat off my nose. I don't care.
That's right. And I don't know how much sweat you got on your nose, but
none yet. It's fucking cold here.
It is cold.
It's back in the 20s.
Yeah, it was kind of blizzarding out when I was outside earlier. Not fun. But you can find me on Twitter at JP Raynor. That's JPRAYNOR, as well as right down here at Movie Blog Merc. That is the Twitter page for my site, Merc with Movie Blog. If you are watching this on YouTube, you are on the Merc with Movie Blog YouTube channel. So please hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and click that little bell wherever the fuck it is on your page. Ding, ding, ding. You'll get notifications. And if you're listening to this on podcast form, you can head over to anchor.fm/lastcall HIMYM. Leave us a voice message. We did one on last week from my buddy Mike. Thanks again, Mike. And that was real fun. So do that, and we'll talk about if you have a question or a comment or whatever. We'll address that. And if you are listening on Apple or Spotify and you want to leave us a 5-star review, be sure to leave us a little written review with it. And we will read that out on air now, because we've gotten a few more 5-star reviews, but they haven't written anything. It's just been the 5 stars a few times. And so write something to us. We'll, if you have a question, you have a comment, we will address it right here on air. We love that. And also, be sure to follow us on Twitter at Last Call HIMYM. We post episodes every Monday and Friday up until next week, because that will be the season finale of How I Met Your Father. It's gonna be good. I'm excited for it. It's gonna be crazy. But,
and then we'll just go back to some How I Met Your Mother.
That's right.
Until season 2 drops.
And be sure to check out our new little extra bonus thing, Last Call After Hours. I posted one of those just the other day. So be sure to check that out. We'll post those occasionally, when we have something here and there.
It just happened to be one of those things that last week after we recorded an episode, we sat here shooting the shit for a few before I went to bed.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how many I don't think I've ever mentioned this. I work third shift. So I'm literally just now going to bed, and then I'll sleep all day, and then I'll wake up and then do it all again tonight.
That's true. It's a vicious cycle, as Dane Cook would say. But that's all I got for him, Jay. What do you got for him?
Ladies and gentlemen, you don't have to go home, but you can't listen here.
Catch you next time.